This episode of Jocks and Jills is brought to you by Shark Ninja, Shark Beauty, Shark Home, and Ninja Kitchen. And today, we want to tell you about the Shark Cryo Glow Cooling and LED Face Mask. It's the only med spa-inspired mask to combine clinically tested IQ LED technology and InstaChill cold technology for results starting with the touch of a button. Just select your routine, track your progress, adjust your chill level, and enjoy. It's not skincare, it's skin tech. Only Cryo Glow combines high-energy LEDs, deep penetrating infrared, and under-eye cooling. And good news, we got a discount code for y'all. It's JOCKS15 when you're on the Shark Ninja or Shark Beauty website. Thank you very much to Shark Ninja, a proud founding partner of the PWHL, our presenting sponsor here at Jocks and Jills. All right, we are so back, Tessa. Welcome back to North America. Finally, we made our way home.
Kinda.
What's up? How were your? Tessa and I, we've made jokes on this podcast about having to separate when we travel in order to make it to a destination safely. We unfortunately were torn apart on the way home, which was sad.
It was, and I take responsibility for it based on the fact that
Ditched us.
Did we not say
the boys?
The entire trip, Liam kept saying, you know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and me. And I assumed in that moment. Julia and I missed our connector in Frankfurt and Liam. After basically running a marathon, we were sprinting and sweating. How was your gray sweatshirt, by the way? Was it just so sweaty and
wasn't
mad
a gray
pitters?
sweatshirt. I was wearing a red sweatshirt, but I had a gray t-shirt on underneath, which was so...
How big were your pitters?
Brutal, and I had to wear that shirt the next day as well.
Yeah, I know.
In our little airport hotel that we ended up having to stay in Germany, I put it on the windowsill too. No, this is actually the cherry on top, dude.
Yes.
I put my socks and my underwear and my t-shirt on the windowsill so they dry out. It pours rain.
Oh no. What'd you do? Blow dry it all?
Yeah, I just did a little blow dry. It was a little damp when I wore it, but it's okay. It's okay. It woke me up.
We missed we get to our gate. We missed our gate by barely a minute. And I will just say this. 2 minutes, sure. Julia, I've never seen you throw down the way you threw down in that moment. I can't
believe you. That's how most people in my life know me to be.
I'm going to take a back seat on this. It was an Italian woman who was at the counter that basically broke the news to all of us that we weren't getting on the plane, even though we could see it.
Poor woman.
And it was an Italian versus an Italian. And I would take Julia's side in that fight any day because basically you just don't mess with Julia, period.
When she's trying to get home to her dog.
Yeah, it was something. And then we had to go to a service desk to reschedule. And so I give them a boarding pass, whatever. And they're like, you traveling alone? I was like, yeah. And then I was turn around to Julia and Liam. Whatever, I go in, I grab 3 seats, I sit down, I'm waiting. I'm like,
Liam's yelling your name. Somehow you don't hear.
Was he?
That part was confusing to me, but okay.
I didn't hear him at all. I was in there in the little gated area.
Oh yeah, no, you weren't in there when we were yelling at you. Your back was still to us, but okay, keep going with the story.
You could see me?
Yeah, we could see you when we were yelling at you and you kept walking.
I had no idea.
You've never gassed anyone harder in your life.
Sorry, man.
And the whole time we're going,
people.
Tessa's going, and make sure we always say we're traveling together. We're always traveling together. And Tessa just gasses the boys harder than anyone's ever gassed anyone in their life.
Not true. Guys, when we went to the passport thing, I was like, do we go up as a throuple?
And then you gassed us. And you said we're going up as a throuple, and then you gassed us. And I was like, okay, I guess we're not doing that. And then it happened again. It's fine. We all made it home.
We were all there. I expected us all to make it in this little gated area to get our flights done. And then
not what happened.
I texted you. I'm like, where are you guys? And you're like, we're in this massive line. They ushered us away. I was like, oh my God, what? And then I was like, do I leave? So then drama broke out in my area. People were upset. So I'm trying to get a word in edgewise with this guy. Can I dip out and go with my friends? And he was like, no. And I was like, why? Why can't I just do what I want here? I don't understand. This is my
I don't like airports. I hate
Trip.
airports because like I just know it's a place where I'm not winning an argument. And any other time in my life, I have full confidence in myself to win an argument and get what I want. And I know that in an airport, generally, there's just like too many rules in place for that to be the case. So
Yeah.
journey home, we made it. I slept so much the last couple days. I've been so gassed, but I'm looking forward to breaking this down. So let's get into some thoughts from Milano, shall we?
Before we do, can we take one moment, Julia, and just reach out to our friends in the WNBA?
Yes.
Some sad news I saw on the internet today, to be quite honest. That's when I first saw it today. So we just want to send our condolences over to all of our friends at the WNBA in the passing of Kara Braxton.
Yeah.
Our thoughts are with her family, friends, and teammates. Just a sad story of a young athlete gone too soon. So we're thinking of everybody in the WNBA.
Yeah. Rest in peace. We're thinking of y'all. Okay. So we've sat on this for a bit. We've had some time to marinate on the gold medal game. USA becomes champions. Have loved to see them like connecting with the figure skating group from the US. Like seeing the celebrations is always so fun. And we did kind of our gold medal game breakdown after like sprinting around for the entire gold medal game and having a couple Aperol spritzes. So now that we've had time to think about it with clear minds, well, actually, let's start with this. Most watched women's hockey game ever in the USA. 7.7 million people at the game's peak in overtime. I think it was like 5.5 million average. Just incredible numbers for that game. And when you consider the fact that women's figure skating finals were happening at the same time, I don't even think it was on the main network in the US. So wow, a lot of eyeballs on women's hockey, and like
rightfully so.
The Kelseys there, Tom Brady there, Donatella Versace there, just everybody who's who out to watch Canada and the USA, the greatest rivalry in sports, go head to head in women's hockey. So that just warms your heart to see how many eyeballs were on the game.
Heck yeah, and well deserved. And the ladies delivered one heck of a show. So props to both teams. Canada, I got to give a special shout out to. I know people are all over us. You guys are USA pro. You guys are all pro USA this whole time. It's like, well, did any other team give us a reason not to be? And it's not that we're like, we love USA, we love USA. It's like we love all of these players equally. But right now we were just breaking down the type of play that was there. And for Team Canada, we said they can show up. Potential's there. And they did. They played that. They executed their game plan to perfection, I should say. And it wasn't easy because I know I talked about earlier, like whatever's going on in that locker room, it's a vault and everything else is outside noise, but there's no way they weren't feeling some of the feelings that everybody was having, and they weren't hearing the questions that were being asked by reporters and whatnot. So walking into a final game where, you know, most of your country is kind of holding their breath, trying their best to stay positive, mostly praying that it wasn't a blowout. You know, I just really wanted the girls to keep it close. So to show up and to play like that attitude, that swagger, that chip. Emma Malte, I have to give a shout out to. I know she's a friend of the show. She played unbelievable.
Her best game of the tournament.
No one wanted to win more than Emma in that whole entire rink. Maybe Hillary Knight, maybe. But Emma was playing like it. Like just a dog on a bone, nonstop, every shift. I could tell you every time she was out there, I was like, Malte's on. Why? She was on the puck. She was laying hits. She was blocking shots. She was doing things right. The extra effort was there. I also owe an apology to Daryl Watts. After the game, I said, you know, this is going to haunt her a little bit. She actually did she made a great play in the D zone, picked up the puck and busted her tail up the ice. For whatever reason, my memory served me after that game that maybe she didn't. I think it's because she looked over and saw she had Philly with her. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe she stopped striding then. She didn't. She was hauling ass to the net. And the only thing I could say is maybe she could have taken the ice sooner, but regardless, there's a picture of that play and the stick lift is on the hands.
You're never calling that an overtime.
On a breakaway? What do you mean?
It wasn't enough.
Happened in 2014.
There wasn't enough force there. You watched the video there and
you
think that was enough to deter that play and call it? I didn't think so.
I don't know. The only time you call a play like that is when you're taking either a sure goal or a sure scoring chance away. It happened in 2014.
You can't look at I think the photo of the hands on the stick there looked way worse than it actually was when you watch the video. Just
fair.
Sometimes the still photos in hockey, like,
or
no way, that's what the play. Yeah,
ruins
exactly.
It. Fair. My other thing on top of that is before the game tying goal, okay, Zummy was skating up the ice, taking the puck wide, kind of lost an edge. Renata went in with her. She fell down and fell onto the puck. Renata went to go jab to get the puck, and the ref blows a whistle immediately. And it didn't dawn on me until after, when a couple people brought it up, and I was like, you're right. So when you're in the offensive zone and you fall on the puck, if it's not a delay of game, the faceoff should be moved to the outside, and it wasn't. And it's shocking and surprising to me that not one member of the Canadian coaching staff caught that. There's people upstairs. There's highly competitive people on the bench, players, who's always on stuff. Not one person caught that. Then they had a whole TV timeout even to catch that, and they didn't. So TV timeout, everyone's rested and okay. Why wouldn't you put Pooh on the ice to take that face off?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's one that to me is like so much happening at the moment. Not shocking to me that the refs didn't make the right call there. Like there was a million weird calls in this tournament, men's side, women's side.
Yeah.
I was just listening to Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts, and he was like, I've never seen a group of officials look kind of nervous, but when you feel like it's you standing between a gold medal and a country, it's a lot of stress. And I think that showed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that showed up a little bit in this tournament on the men's side and the women's side. But to your point, nobody on the Canadian bench flagging that, none of the Canadian players flagging that is surprising to me.
It's
crazy. Does it change the outcome of the game in the end? I don't know. Like,
could have,
like
maybe,
I said,
maybe not.
Like I said, we saw goals scored with 6 players on the ice. We saw some wild calls throughout this tournament. So even though that's a disappointing one, it's hard to hang anything on, you know?
Yeah. The other thing I will say is I said it before the game, the Canadians power plays got to win it for them. They had 3 chances on the PP, 6 whole minutes trying to score a goal. Didn't. That could have been the difference maker too. But like these are all, looking back with free slow-mo, fast forward, rewind from the comfort of our couch, snacking on chicken wings while we're watching it.
I was eating chicken wings at 11 a.m. yesterday during the men's game.
Stop it. Good
Is
for
that the
you.
wildest thing you've ever heard? Dude,
No.
You would have been so proud of me. We got home and then we got home from the airport. What time did we land? Like 4:30 or 5 or something to that effect. And Liam's aunt had a birthday party. Aunt and uncle had a birthday party at the local Legion here in
Is that where you
Tottenham.
were? You're like, I'm out. I'm like, why are you out?
Yeah. So we had canceled and then we're like, whatever. If we go and we have a couple drinks at the local Legion and we stay up till 9 o'clock, we'll probably do ourselves better than falling asleep right now and waking up at the crack of dawn. But they had ordered so much good food and we ended up going home with like a styrofoam box of chicken wings that I did in fact crush during the third period of the men's game with beer.
Good.
Yeah.
In 2014, I was up at a bar at like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. when Ontario passed that bill where you could drink, where they were allowing people to serve early. And I remember being like, this is weird, but like I did it in college, kegs and eggs. It suits. It rocks. It checks out.
I didn't see it. I wonder how many people took advantage of that this year in Ontario because I know it was the same thing. They were allowed to serve early. I didn't. I don't think anywhere in my town was open that early, though. I did look at the Facebook pages at the local bar. I'm like, is anybody doing this? No, we just stayed on the couch.
Best.
Was
Aaron
it Meg
Frankel
the
was
Stallion?
a boss.
Yeah, like I just want to get into talking about USA more. Meg the Stallion, I think, sent them all bottles of like fancy golden champagne, which I thought was so cool. Like I want to see every American celebrity fully embracing this United States women's team because they're just like the best collection of characters ever.
Yeah.
If you're going to give any one of these two teams all the love in the world, like give it to the women's team. They're the coolest ever.
Yeah. Are you talking about the 2 gold medal winning teams between the men and the women?
Yeah.
Yeah. And especially with bosses like Aaron Frankel, only allowed 2 goals on the whole tournament on 99 shots faced.
Fueled by Caesar salads and a dream, baby. She is the best.
980 save percentage. What is that?
Boston is going to be who is going to take, and we'll talk more about this on Thursday when we're kind of teeing up the games for this week more, or on Friday episode rather. But like, who's knocking Boston out of that top spot in the PWHL right now? And you have Megan Keller, golden goal scorer.
She had a hell of a game too.
Aaron
it wasn't
Frankel.
Even just,
I know. Alina Mueller coming off bronze in an amazing tournament. Like, who is touching the Boston Fleet right now? Nobody. They were already so good going into the Olympics. And I think it's just going to give them an extra kick in the pants.
Yeah. USA winning 8 straight games against Canada. But they earned that last one. They earned it. I'm not going to lie. I said it after the post game. Like they were hanging on for dear life for a while there, but they weathered the storm great. The first time the team went undefeated at the Olympics since 1998.
Unbelievable.
Impressive. We had a chance to sit down with AJ Malesko while we were there on the anniversary of that gold medal win. Clinked a beer with her in honor of it. And like, kind of cool for her to be in the house to watch it happen again.
Yeah.
And then Hillary drops a bomb on all of us. You sent it to me and I was like, girl, what?
She is so
I thought she was
sneaky.
done. And then she was just like, she sends out, I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah.
Hillary, you cannot play with our emotions like this.
Please do not do this. I also love listening to all the USA girls talk about how like she was telling them she got engaged and she was calling it like a side quest. She said like, I'm going on a side quest in the next couple of days, and comes back engaged to.
But she didn't even really fully tell them. Like
No.
Murphy was like, she didn't even mention, I saw her and she didn't even mention it, and then like posted it and then went away to go do something, and then they all saw it and they're like, yo, Hill, what? I just, why would you tell me?
And then ties the game to keep them in the hunt for the gold medal. Like she is just an amazing character.
Named flag bearer, which was cool. Cool to see.
So happy to see that. But yeah, we got to do some poking around with Hill, because it sounded before this Olympics, she fully announced, this is my last games. Didn't mention anything obviously about PWHL play, because I would imagine we'd see her hang around there for a long time. But post game, she was asked, was that your last Olympic game? And her answer was something to the effect of, we'll see. So
like, come on.
Hill leaving us all on the edge of our seats.
I'm going to say she must have had so much fun playing with the youngsters like Caroline Harvey, who was an absolute legend at this Olympic Games. She's not even graduated from college yet. She's 25. She's not even 25 yet.
No, I think
MVP
she's like 23.
of the tournament.
Yeah.
Her resume, you pulled up her elite prospects. You're like, look at this. And it was like,
it looks like
she's going to need 4 rows of.
Yeah.
She's going to need 4 rows by the time she's done of like accomplishments.
It doesn't feel like there's enough like words or accolades to describe what Caroline Harvey's captured for Team USA. She's got everybody captured off the ice completely. She's just like, you can't take her eyes off her on the ice. And she does a hell of a chicken banana.
She owned the chicken banana. And I love that she was so game to do it. I was like, Julie and I were looking at all of your dances and like, there's no way in hell we're going to do any of those.
I've never heard one of those songs before.
Ever in my whole life. And I was like, do you know chicken banana? She's like, no, but I can do it. I'm like, I know you can.
Please.
But this is the song. And she kind of just looked at us for a minute like, you nerds.
So funny.
My kids are stoked though. They loved it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Megan Keller, like we talked to her before the tournament. I got to go through that interview after this. She's been having an unbelievable season in the PWHL. She has been one of, if not the best defenders in the PWHL up to this point. Yeah. To see her get rewarded like that, oh man, I'm so happy for her. She's just like, she was already going to be a Hall of Famer. That goal puts her into the Hall of Fame as soon as she retires, like just cements her legacy. And I'm so glad that maybe she's a little bit understated. Like everybody knows Hillary, everybody knows Kendall. Megan Keller's been a part of that group for a long time, and she deserves all the recognition. So I'm really glad that I feel like she's going to get a little bit more of that now that she got just absolutely the filthiest goal ever to win it.
Person. I saw her mom after the first period in the gold medal game, gave her a big hug. Love her mom, by the way. Her family's amazing. Yeah. And I was like, how are you doing? And she was like, honestly, like, I'm nervous. And then she pulled this thing out of her pocket and it was like a religious figure. I'm not going to say what it was because I don't know. I'm not a very religious person, and she's like, I've been rubbing it like crazy. And like, she showed it to me and like, she was literally rubbing whatever image was on there off. Aww. Like she was been rubbing this thing hard. And I was like, your daughter's Megan Keller. Like you got nothing to worry about. She's like, no, we do. This Canada team's playing so good. And I was like, well, whatever it happens, enjoy it. And like, I bet you that thing's got a hole through it. And it worked. Whatever the hell it was, I'm going to be ordering a dozen of them in.
Yeah, we got to figure out who she was praying to there, because whoever it was absolutely delivered. But man, Megan Keller's just so good. I don't know. She's just so good. It's like she didn't even need the help. Like I'm just so happy for her. Pump for the Boston team. Pump for her family. Pump for that whole USA program that's been working really hard to.
And Layla Edwards becomes the first Black American woman to win gold in women's hockey. What can't she do? Assists on the game tying. Jeepers.
So good. I mentioned it in our post-game live, but that photo of the game tying goal when she's flying in behind Hillary on the handshake, like it's so cool on the celebration there at the bench. It is extremely cool. I'm so happy for her. And I feel like she's elevated to a level of stardom that's going to be just awesome for the PWHL and awesome for like the game of women's hockey in general. Like her and Layla, there's a lot of great prospects coming in next year. Like there's at least 5 people that you could build a team around coming in next year, 4 or 5 people for sure that are going to be franchise players in the PWHL. But Layla and Caroline Harvey are just on another level of stardom. They are going to bring women's hockey to a
dragging
level
dragging
that it just
it up.
hasn't seen yet. Yeah, just like yeah, they're awesome. I love those two as personalities. I love them as players. Like I can't imagine the game being in better hands.
Totally. Bronze medal winner, Switzerland. You mentioned Alina Mueller, named flag bearer for the closing ceremonies for Switzerland. You damn right she is. She should have been opening and closing. She's a boss. And she's actually like a big time celeb in Switzerland, just so you know. I ran into a man, remember walking in?
Yep.
Were you chatting with me with him? And he was like, my wife and I, we went to this where they hand out like the athlete of the year of all of Switzerland. Alina Mueller, I believe, has won it twice, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, she had won it last year. And he was like, we take a picture with her every year and we came here to cheer her on. And I was like, oh my God, that's our Alina.
Yeah. The Swiss hockey fans are so awesome. Like every international tournament I've ever been to, the Swiss fans do it good. Hop Swiss, baby. They always got a cowbell going. And they were just loud and proud for Alina Mueller. We had the perfect vantage point to her scoring that goal. Her celly. I'm not over her celly yet. It was so awesome the way that she dropped her gloves, her helmet, and she had her hands out beside her. She's just an awesome person. And again, like part of the Boston team that is just going to be in everybody's nightmares coming into the second half of the season.
Buckle up, everybody.
Oh, I can't. I'm still thinking about Laura Stalder too, like kissing the ice, like that. That was just such a special
Great
moment
performances by both of them, both goats. Great performances by both of them. Always wear their hearts on their sleeves. The pressure's on for Switzerland, for me, to produce more of those youthful, skilled players like a Vey or Way.
Yeah.
I think it's Vey is how you pronounce her name in Switzerland.
Yeah, you're right.
Because Alina's not getting any younger, albeit she's probably still going to keep playing, but like neither's Stalder. And Stalder's had some injuries and stuff. So it's like, you got to start pulling up that younger gen to be able to maintain and hold this position in the world.
Yeah. And speaking of that younger gen, like Sweden, like nobody represents that next generation the way that Sweden does. Like USA is not even the next generation to me right now. Like all those kids are there now for the USA. Sweden's group of youth is a little touch younger than that US is, but every bit as dangerous and exciting, I'd say.
Yeah, they still have a few years left in college.
Yeah. Freshmen. I'm looking at 7 and 8 on Sweden, just absolutely ripping it up and knowing that they've got 3 years left in the NCAA. Like it's just absolutely wild.
Yeah. And like our head scout here at Jocksinjills, Liam Ham, didn't know much about him. And all he had to do was watch warm up to be like them. And it was like, no, we know. We're aware. So is the whole world. Will be great to see what Erica Holtz can do with the program. She's officially taken over now that the Olympics are done. So, you know, a past Olympic legend, someone that I played against and kind of looked up to, albeit when I played against her, I didn't look up to her because she was a pain in my butt, but like always respected her game, what she did for the game in Sweden. Now what she's going to take over the program, I am pumped. Cannot wait to get on a call with her and see what she's got planned.
Yeah. How about Finland? Like Finland, like you got to give them a little bit of an asterisk about them because they were so ill to start this tournament. The norovirus gives you a little bit of an excuse, but you've been kind of asking for Finland to invest more in their women's hockey for a while here.
Like, come on. And if this doesn't scream at you, like the fact that you saw what happens when you do not invest in a program with Sweden, you know, starting in when was that? 2017, 18, 19, like all of that. Like how else do we need to show you or tell you aside from your team not even qualifying for the semifinals?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry. For the love of God, Finnish hockey, please start pumping money into your program. All the rest of the world is starting to do amazing things and you just decide to take the foot off the gas pedal. Unacceptable. Like you said, sure, give them a bit of a break. They do have studs on that team. They all got hit with norovirus, whatever. But I mean, they battled, sure, but I still expected more out of this group's And I don't know that there's much coming out of the ranks for Finland, because when we talked to Court, she was saying, their under 18 team was, hand on face, shake your head. Is it SMH? Is that what kids type nowadays?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, there's nothing to write home about there. That team got relegated from the U18 program. What the hell is happening?
I know.
Get on now. You got a 4-year cycle to try and fix it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's where I'm at.
I know. We're going to need to see more from Finland and
Czechia.
Not much.
They never reached their potential. Not that entire tournament.
Team in this tournament.
Huge.
Yeah.
I'm like, next game, they're sure they got a bit better, but like
they
something's
always
gonna
looked
click.
like they were right there. Like they did improve with every game they played, but it never felt like they saw their peak.
They got to figure out what their identity is. I felt like they were playing, but there was no true identity consistently throughout the entire team.
Yeah, agreed.
Get a proper system going for them that will help them flourish, that they can be creative and play within. I don't know. It just felt like there needed to be a whip crack there or something. Like someone needed to kick a garbage can.
Feels like they hit a bit of a wall there. They've had so much success in the last couple of years. They got their bronzes at the World Championships, and now they just seem to have hit a little bit of a wall when it comes to taking that next step.
Well, it almost felt like they thought it was going to be a little bit easier, and they were Czechia, so they were going to get there. And it was like there wasn't really much urgency, or like they were always just content. And it's like, that ain't it. Like, it's the Olympics. I mean, getting eliminated from the quarterfinals is upsetting. I would be if I was them, because in talking with them before they left, even Calty, when we saw her there, it was like their expectation was
they wanted to challenge.
They wanted to challenge to be in the final, and they didn't even make it through the quarters. I don't know. Is that pressure? Is that something in the locker room? Is it coaching? I don't know. But whatever it is, it needs to be figured out quick. You got 4 years to get that train right back on tracks and rolling downhill.
Yeah, they're going to come back hungry.
Yeah.
How about this Germany team? I feel like they've done some serious inspiring of the next generation with
they make me smile.
They're showing. Me too.
Yeah. The fans with the wigs in the crowd, I'm so sad we never ran into them.
I know. Germany wasn't playing by the time we got there for the semis. I'm extremely upset about that.
This team has 100%, you said it, inspired the next gen. Nina, Sandra, Laura Kluge, all represented the P-Dub with style and grace. And like, they played so good. Kluge finished, I think, 5th in scoring with 7 points. She led the tournament scoring after the prelims, which is awesome. Confidence boost for her heading back to Boston.
Yeah, great. Great for everyone.
And Nina
involved.
had most points by a German defender at an Olympic tournament.
Love that.
Way to go.
Sandra Abstreiter was good too between the pipes. We'll have to see a little bit of her in the second half for Montreal, I think. Yeah. So great tournament overall for Germany. I think we've talked a ton about Team Italy on the podcast. And for women's hockey. We've talked about Team Italy. Like, they were an awesome surprise at this tournament. Loved their story. A little bit of PWHL representation too with Kristen Della Rovera. If you have not listened to the Momcast yet.
Her mom is a beauty.
With her mom, Elizabeth, you absolutely have to. Such a good episode. Team France, Team Japan, not their best showing, but always good when they could play against the best teams in the world and kind of put that measuring stick up and find what they have to aspire to.
Exactly that. P-Dub was represented very well. 61 players that competed, 65 goals between all of them. I mean, I liked this tournament because that middle group is really getting tighter. And the Americans and Canadians did not score double digits that entire tournament. Neither team scored more than 5 goals against a team. So, hey-oh, that's a win.
Hey, that gap is closing. If you're paying attention, you absolutely know that gap is closing. So,
yeah,
love to see that. So good. So many medals won at this tournament by PWHL players. So, I'm excited to see what this does for the game. I'm excited to see who's tuning in. Like, I saw a lot of people. We ran into a lot of people who were like, "Man, this is really good hockey. I'm going to try watching the PWHL when we get back." We were doing some serious boots on the ground conversations with people about like, you can watch all these games on YouTube. Once we leave Milan, a lot of Italian people falling in love with hockey, which is not surprising to me. It was very cool to see. So I'm excited to see what this does, Tessa.
I know. Only good things, Obby.
On the up and up. On the up.
And I must say, the PWHL pins were the hot commodity at the Olympic Games.
Yeah. Pin trading was so viral at this Olympics. I honestly have to make a video because I got some... yes, but it's not always as viral as it is. I realize it
correct.
happens at every Olympics, but like I don't think it's popped up on the internet as much as it has as it did during this Olympics.
Yeah.
I
Also,
will
he got
say,
a bit competitive, you know?
no, I and honestly, like not to bump my own tires, but I do think I wound up with the best pin of them all in the end. The hockey
got
playing
Tina.
Tina.
Yeah.
I got the hockey playing Tina. I have to make a TikTok about it still because I'm so excited about it because a listener of this podcast gave it to me. I think I mentioned this on our recap, but somebody gave a hockey playing Tina pin to Amy Shear's wife to give to us. So
No, you got yours. Do you want to know? Do you want to know what happened? A
What?
woman came up and said she loved our pod, and she
Yeah.
handed me 2 pins, and one of them was Tina, and one was a hockey skate with a Canada leaf on
wait,
it.
didn't they give that to CA though, and then CA gave them to us?
Oh, was it CA? Girl, I don't know.
We had a very
maybe.
confusing day. But wait, Tessa, I'm actually feeling like I'm losing my mind right now. Remember we were in the hotel lobby and Caroline came up to us and she's like, 2 people came up to me and were like, I love the podcast. And one was a hockey skate and one was Tina. And then
Oh,
I
yeah,
snatched
you're right.
the
Bang
Tina.
on. Bang on.
Snatched it.
Yeah. I would
But one
never
was
take
kind
that
of
from
like
you, by the way.
a hockey
imagine I was like,
Canada
here's
one.
the skate, Julia. I'm taking Tina. Yeah, right. Yeah,
I
right.
love Tina. She's my girl. She's my girl. I love that woman. So
Yeah.
if it was you that gave that to us, can you send us a DM? Like, please, we have to publicly thank you. You completed my trip. You put the cherry on top of my trip to Milan, which was so awesome. Okay. We just want to take a second to tell you about Clever Mocktails, the official mocktail of the PWHL. They've got 0 alcohol, but all the fun. They're made from natural, high-quality ingredients. There's 6 flavors to choose from margarita to gin and tonic and mojito. They're non-alcoholic cocktails that are ready to drink and crafted with botanical infusions for that wow factor flavor. They're a refined, refreshing option for any moment. They're low calorie and no sugar options available. They're gluten-free and you get no hangover, and you can get them at your favorite grocery store across Canada, or you can order them online at clevermocktails.com. It's going to be me and the Clevers from here on out for a while,
Heck
Tessa,
yeah.
after all the red wine
The old liver needs a break.
in Italy. Yeah, there was a lot of fun had. And we had a lot of fun in this interview. Brought to you by AERO, the official chocolate bar of the PWHL. On or off the ice, feel the bubbles melt. Just before we get to talking about Rebecca Leslie, I've crushed a lot of AERO chocolate in the last couple of days as well. There were some lovely people from AERO with us in Milan. We love, like AERO chocolate is so good. The truffle one, it seriously
Insane.
does
It's
melt in your
unfair.
mouth. Yeah, I'm always like, oh, I'll just have, and the way it's built, I'm like, I'll just have 2 or 3 pieces. I'll cut off 2 little bites. And then I just like do flybys and I'm grabbing 2 every time I walk by.
No one opens an AERO chocolate bar to wrap it back up and put it in their pocket. No way.
But in your heart, you want to.
Yes.
In your
but
heart, you're like,
can't.
I'll try to have a few of these, but in the end, it's done and dusted by the end of the hour, and that's just how it works. This is such a good one with Rebecca Leslie. I
Love her.
love hearing from hometown girls playing for their hometown team, and I don't know if anybody represents their hometown better than Rebecca Leslie has for the Ottawa Charge over the past couple seasons. I love seeing all of her friends and family out at games. I love seeing her one friend who always chirps the refs. Like she's just so awesome. And we recorded this about a week ago, but I believe I have to get back into wedding planning. So I'm glad that we're listening to this back because Rebecca Leslie provided me with some
She did.
wedding planning guidelines that we need. So here she is on Jocks and Jills. Again, it's brought to you by AERO, Rebecca Leslie. All right, we're excited about this one. We love a hometown girl repping her team, and I don't know if anybody's doing it better in the PWHL than Rebecca Leslie repping the Ottawa Charge the past couple seasons. Rebecca, appreciate you hopping on. Thanks for doing this.
Woo, woo, woo.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, anytime. I feel like we should start there. We were having some laughs off camera, but all kidding aside, like so cool that you get to rep your hometown team. I know you love talking about playing minor hockey in Ottawa and your love for the city, but just give us a little context. Like, what's it been like playing at home and in front of all your friends? Our favorite of your friends, by the way, is the one that brings her glasses to the games and chirps the ref. She's our fave.
Yeah, it's been honestly a dream. Like, it's hard to even put into words. Every game I can like look into the crowd and see like old teachers or neighbors or friends and family, and it's been really special. And I feel like as someone who grew up in Ottawa, I always knew how special of a market it is, and how we always deserve this opportunity, to have female hockey. And sometimes we did get missed, like tournaments went to Montreal or they went to Toronto and they didn't really stop in Ottawa. So I think for us to finally have this, and it's, a permanent team in Ottawa, it's been really, really cool to see how the fans have come out, and then just to, feel that support from the community has been incredible.
You actually see some of your grade school teachers in the stands sometimes?
Yeah, like I see like the most random people, or I'll get like messages from like old teachers and like just like the most random people. My parents are constantly getting emails being like, I watched your daughter's game, or like my grandma's lives in an old folks home and she has like all her like friends watching the game. So the community has
Aw.
just like really rallied behind it. It's really special.
Stop. We need to go to a watch party with your grandmother and her
I know.
pals.
She
That
would
would
love
be
it.
the sweetest thing.
She keeps like trying to organize a bus to come to the games with all her friends. And I'm like, that seems like a lot of work, but
Can we? No, we can make
We
this
need to be
happen.
on that party bus.
Does
I know.
anybody watch Landman?
yes.
Yes. Oh
Okay,
my
you know-
gosh, that's what
can
I'm
we-
picturing.
Can Julia
would
and
be
I be
hilarious.
the mom and the daughter? And then
That
we
would be so us too.
Can we
and
be
we
those
would get in
people?
trouble
it.
for it.
just on a short
So
bus,
funny.
just taking them all with the margarita machine locked in the back?
They would
That's our
love it.
calling.
Yeah, I'm sure they would love it. Shark Ninja can maybe just provide one of those
Oh my
like blended
God,
smoothie machines.
creamies.
Get
yeah.
us the slushy machine going, the ninja slushy. We'll be mixing margaritas for Grandma Leslie. Like we
Yeah.
absolutely need that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so after this, just please send us the contact to where she's staying.
And don't worry about it. We'll take
Her
it from
10
there.
best pals.
Yeah, I will.
Perfect. Is there
Don't
one
be shocked,
moment?
first of all, when this happens, everybody.
No,
and we
that
are
sounds
loud
like
back in
actually-
Ottawa when we do this. I'm lifting the band myself.
That would
Yeah,
be a
I've like
great
heard about
initiative.
that.
Oh,
I've heard you guys are
Great.
banned, but like not really.
Who's talking about it?
I feel like just like the Red Scarf Union, they're a passionate bunch.
Yeah.
Look, I'm
I
a
know.
passionate part of the Red Scarf Union. I keep their flag flying behind me so that we
That's great.
keep
Yeah.
things neutral and that they're not mad at us.
I
ever.
call them the Red Scarf Army because they do feel mad at me.
Jess actually always does call
They're
them
always
the
after
army.
me.
It seems like they will hold a grudge.
Yeah.
They
I
will.
know.
They
and I
will.
respect it.
I like it. They're very Ottawa. They got that gritty like chip on their shoulder.
Yeah.
Good union,
Yeah.
man.
We love
to
them.
see
They're
it.
the best.
Yeah.
They
And
are.
honestly,
I'm
just
not gonna
circling
lie.
back, I feel like old people are like, kids are cool. Like there's so many initiatives with kids. I feel like an old people initiative is what we need, Tessa. Like we need to get
100%.
the bus going.
Absolutely. If anyone in Ottawa knows or owns a bus that we can borrow that can hold a Ninja Creamy and Slushy, please slide into our DMs.
And 15 senior citizens and us. That's what we
Yes.
need.
Correct.
Okay,
and you have
we
to
went-
drive the bus.
I drive the bus?
No, they do. Whoever
the
owns
person.
it. We
The
ain't doing
person
it.
that we're
We're in
borrowing
on
it
Margaritaville in the back. You kidding
Right.
me?
I was going to say, I can't be driving the bus. Sorry, we've gone off the rails here, Becca. But you said you've had a whole bunch of people like in your life from your community show up to your games. Is there one moment that stands out that's been really cool to you? That's been like, whoa, that is really full circle.
Like maybe your first crush just sitting there regretting not asking you out in first grade.
I always think about those. Like, are you watching my games? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I would.
I
Playing an
think
Avril
that-
Lavigne song.
Yeah, I think that in grade 7 to 10, I went to this French high school in Ottawa, and we had like a sports program and a hockey program. And so I would spend like every day at the rink instead of gym class. I would go and do that. And one of my teachers and my coach, Jason Prévost, he actually, I ran into him at one of my games. And I've always known that he's been like a huge supporter of me, but we haven't really stayed in contact since I left the school. And so I run into him often now, and him and his wife are big fans of our team and of me, of course. And I credit a lot of my like hockey career and my success to like the 4 years I spent there and just all the extra time on the ice. So to be able to see him is very full circle. Yeah, and obviously when I coach camps in the summer and I see the little girls in the stands at my games, like that's also another moment where I'm like, wow, like we're really doing something here for the next generation. But seeing teachers and old coaches, that's, they put so much time into me. So that's been great.
I like that. Another person who's put a lot of time into you is your dad. I heard he coached you growing up. What was Coach Dad like?
Yeah, my dad he was a tough coach, but he was someone who he just always expected a lot from me. He just knew that I could, do the right things. And I'm someone who likes to have a lot of fun, and I tend to goof off a little bit. So he kind of kept me focused. And, I was fortunate to have like a ton of really good coaches in Ottawa. But my dad was definitely my coach for most of my career. And he was hard on me. Like I always talk to my friends now he was the D coach. So we kept our distance, but I would always talk to my friends now, like, how was my dad as a coach? And he would just be like, oh, come on, Rebecca, like, you got this, do better. Like, but I never heard him because I was on the forward side. So, it was just nice to have his support. But it's funny now talking to them. They're like, yeah, he was always trying to get you going, but you couldn't hear him. So it's good.
Selective hearing. That's
Yeah.
how that works. I like that. He was on the bench, but you guys had your own space and place. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Smart way to do it.
What's Coach Dad like now? Does he give you the call post game, pre game?
Yeah, he's great now. Obviously, like my brother plays too, and so we both kind of talked about this when we were younger, and probably when my brother was in the OHL and when I was in college. Like he was probably a bit harder on us. Probably got more worked up at games and got a little bit more excited. But now he's more even keel. Like he doesn't really talk as much during the games. He doesn't get the highs and the lows. He just kind of stays chill. But I mean, my husband will beg to differ when he sits in the stands with him. He's like, your dad was yelling this game. He was trying to get you going, and he's a little superstitious too. He'll change spots in the arena and go stand somewhere else if the things aren't going well. So he's the classic hockey dad, but he's been really supportive.
Him and Mrs. Malte just doing hot laps, when you guys are playing against each other. They're probably like, hello again, hello again.
That's really funny. Yeah.
You had 3 siblings who all played competitive sports.
Mm-hmm.
When did your parents sleep exactly? Sorry, I'm just trying to calculate this because I've got 2 and I don't know how you work 3 in there.
And you're still in the kinder hockey phase.
Yeah, I know.
That's the early mornings though, so that's probably even more tough.
Is it?
I mean, my brother played, I played, my one sister played ringette, and my other sister played hockey. And it was so much fun. Like looking back, I honestly don't know how they did it, especially because my dad was always coaching me. My brother, he was being coached by my dad often too, and my mom kind of had the girls. So I spent a lot of time on the road with my dad, and I think that's kind of where our relationship blossomed. Like we would be driving to Toronto almost every other weekend, and I think my sisters were always like loving the time with mom, so they were able to kind of just like take 2 kids each and kind of figure it out from there. But I had a lot of supportive family and friends. My parents, my teammates' parents, we had like a lot of carpools going on.
Yeah.
I played in the East End, or lived in the East End, but played in the West End. So like it's not that big of a city, but it still took a good 45 minutes to get to Canada most nights. So we had like a carpool where one of the dads would pick me up at school. We would drive to my friend's house. They would have dinner for us. We'd pick up another girl, go to Canada, and then the next parent would drive us all home. So carpool was the way to do it. But I never really, I think that's what's so cool when you're a kid and you have parents that just do everything for you. You never even really have to wonder or think about like, how did they do this? Because they just did it so seamlessly. You never had to think about it. And, my mom's like a really big part of my career too, just like how much she supported me. And she, I always loved when my mom could come too, because, I loved having my dad, but having my mom there too was really special.
Yeah, totally. Was there a singular sport that all of the siblings would compete at regularly?
Yeah, we always had an outdoor rink, so we would go out there almost every day after school, of course, like typical family. But my sister, who's the closest in age to me, she picked up ringette because her best friend from school played ringette, and so she said, like, I want to play ringette, like Laurel, like I want to do this, and
that's how it happens.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. You get one ringette player. That's so interesting.
Yeah, my sister's friend's family was a big ringette family. All her sisters played like Team Canada, Team Ontario. My sister was a very good ringette player too.
Cool.
But she just came home and was like, I want to play ringette. So my parents were like, okay, whatever. But we would always spend time on the ODR playing ringette, which was fun. Like we would spend a little time playing hockey and then we'd play ringette for a little bit. And I don't know, I like ringette. It's a lot of fun, and just the outdoor rink, being able to have both options, and just a lot of good memories out there.
Was it like, okay, we'll play hockey for a bit, but let's all get to ringette? Like everyone secretly all wanted to play ringette?
I think it was more so, let's play hockey and we'll give Catherine like 10 minutes of ringette and then we'll go back to hockey.
Did you start to get kind of good at it though? Like I've never actually like twirled a ring around on a stick before. It seems like it would be kind of fun.
It is
First
pretty
of all, twirl the ring on.
I'm just picturing it. Like I love the way they stick handle. I love watching them come up the ice. Like it looks sick.
Yeah, Susanna Tapani's wild. Her highlights are insane. I don't know if you know or are familiar with Susanna at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's so impressive. I think that it's such a different game, but it's a really cool game if you get to like know it and appreciate it. Yeah, a lot of my sister's friends actually played hockey and ringette, so they did a little bit of both. But
I
it
feel
was
like Ottawa
really
has the
cool.
best ringette community
You guys
in
do have
Canada.
a
Is
very
that
big
right?
one.
Yeah, it is very big. A lot of girls back in the day, I think a lot of girls played ringette over hockey, but now I think it's probably more hockey than ringette. But yeah, it was always fun to do both.
Back in the day when I was grown up, yes, there were a lot of girls playing
Even when
ringette,
I
a
was
ton.
growing up, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Ottawa
Yeah.
is interesting for that. I love it. When did you start getting recruited to go to college?
I probably started, I don't even remember the rules back then, but probably
Yeah.
7th or 8th grade, we would get the
Jeez.
envelopes, like the mail from teams with like questionnaires. And if you want to talk to us, email us, because obviously they couldn't email you. So I would get those in the mail, and I kept them all, which is like, my husband calls me like a hoarder, but I think it's just so cool to look back at like all the things. So I have like a lot of handwritten notes from some schools and stuff. So probably around grade 7 or 8, but obviously once I got into like junior and midget, those age groups, that's when it started to really get going.
It's crazy to think, like, did you know what those were when they came in? Like, did you understand like what was happening? Because like grade eight's like you're excited about high school. You're not even thinking or understanding what college is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I probably didn't fully understand. I think that I had some players from Ottawa who had been recruited and played like Jamie Lee Rattray and Erica Howe, and I always looked up to them. So I knew like a little bit about the recruiting process, but I only knew about like Clarkson, St. Lawrence, and like Harvard. Like I didn't know all the schools and all the options. So to me, I remember like making a project in like grade 8, and it was like my goals, and it was like I want to go to the Olympics, I want to go to Harvard, and I want to study law. And it's like, well, I didn't do that, but that was probably one of the schools that I like knew about from like maybe the movies or like TV,
Yeah.
other than like the schools close by to Ottawa.
Cool.
Yeah.
And what'd you get on that project? Your teacher better have given you an A.
I think I did pretty well.
Yeah, I was gonna
Nice.
say, flip
I
them
was
a
a
puck.
I was a try hard student, so I'm
Oh,
sure
were you
yeah, oh yeah.
studious?
Okay.
Interesting. And you decided to not go to Harvard, but you went to the city that Harvard was in.
I went to the Ivy League of Massachusetts, being Boston University. That's what I like to tell people.
Is that the
It's
title?
that's what it's harder to get into Harvard than it is to BU, but it's harder to stay in BU than it is at Harvard. That's what people say. So
Okay.
And
They
what's the
wanna
reasoning
keep-
behind that?
they want to keep their acceptance and their student rates higher at Harvard. They don't want people to drop out. That doesn't look good. So you have to work really hard at BU. I always chirp mash about that, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. But
What did you take there?
I took business, so marketing and organizational behavior. But I went in
Okay.
as like a psych major, and that just
You took organizational behavior?
yeah, it's like kind of like
My-
leadership coaching,
Yeah,
right?
no, I know it is. My dad
I've
used to
never
preach
heard
that
of
to
such
us
a
as
thing.
kids. Organizational behavior. Buy the book and read it. We're like, no. I'm not
It's so
doing
funny.
that.
I just had like a bunch of random courses. They were like, if you do one more course, you'll get this other minor. And I was like, sure. So I took a random, maybe like a negotiations class or like a random coaching class. And that was that. I had a second minor.
Nice. That's good.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
And what
You-
was it about the school that called to you when you first visited it? Was it the organizational behavior?
Yeah, it was definitely the business program. No, it was, I think, a combination of like, one, I can go to this really incredible academic school, and I can go to this hockey program that is doing really well and will have a ton of support. I think that, yeah, at the time, obviously there was no league. So I knew I had to get a good education somewhere, and I wanted to go somewhere that had a good combination of both. And I didn't commit until November of my senior year in high school. So it was like very late. And I
Yeah.
actually, I was able to have all the coaches come to my house to do like home visits. So it was like very late in the game. And I had a few
Cool.
coaches come, and Brian DeRocher, the coach of BU at the time, he came to my house, and he's just like such a classy man, such a good guy. And I think that I got this sense that I would be taken care of. And if this is the person who like set the culture for the program, like I'm going to be in good hands. And after he left, like my parents and I were all like, okay, this is someone that like we trust, and like we could see you going there and having a great time. And so I think, yeah, a combination of like him as a coach and then just the program itself.
And Pooh being there, maybe getting to play with Poulet.
Yeah, I mean, I also knew that too. I was like, oh, that would be really cool. I
Be
remember
honest.
watching her. Yeah, I watched her in the Olympics, and I'm like, wow, I'm going to be able to play with her next year. And then kind of became obsessed after that.
That's cool. What were you starstruck? What was the first thing you noticed about her?
I would like literally watch everything that she did. I would watch her like taper stick, tire skates, like what was she doing? I'd watch her in the dining hall, I'd watch her in study hall. Like, what is this girl doing and how can I be like her? Like, what did your parents feed you for breakfast as a kid? Like, I'm gonna feed my kids that. Um, but I think that just like the way she carries herself like every day is just like the truest professional. She's so humble. She's just such a hard worker, and to have someone like that around your program, I think that it just does incredible things for it. And I always say like that year she was up for the Patty Kaz and didn't win, and like Alex Carpenter won, I think that year. So like obviously another insanely good player, and we would always be like, if it's about points, like Pooh would never like go and score that extra goal. She would never try to go get that extra 2 points or try to dangle through. She just wanted our team to win. And if we were winning 3-2, then we won 3-2. And like, she wasn't trying to score those extra goals just for points. And I think that's just like the type of leader that she is.
Yeah. And that's so funny, the way that you just described your relationship. You're like, I was watching her. What do you remember your first like interaction with her being like?
Did you talk
I
to
don't
her
even
or were you
know.
just stalking her?
I think we definitely talked. But I was probably really shy. It took me probably to like a couple years ago to be like normal with her and not be like starstruck. But I remember we would like go out, and I would of course be like the little 18-year-old freshman and wearing whatever the 18-year-old freshman wore at the time. So probably like chokers and like just not the cutest outfits. And she would just be laughing at us. Like me and Bacher would just be like wearing our little outfits, and she'd be like, "What are you guys doing? Like you two are just too much." But it's definitely a different experience. Obviously, she was like a super senior, had just gone to her second Olympics. So just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I don't doubt. Were you taking Snapchats ever secretly? Because we know that who was doing that to Spooner again?
Malte,
yeah.
famously sneaking photos of her when they were teammates.
I don't think that I was sneaking photos, but I was trying to get photos with her. I was like, let's just like show this off a little bit.
Oh yeah,
For
that would be
sure.
the play. Like if you guys were going out and taking photos beforehand, it was like, be in my picture so I can tag you in it on Instagram, please.
Or like even like when we would have like hockey like photo days, or like we would win championships, I'd be like, come on, let's stand together.
Be in my photo. Come on,
just scooch in real quick.
Gotta get a couple extra likes on this.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. After university, you decided to dip out to Calgary. You went and played with the Inferno. How come out there?
Well, obviously I was in the national program at the time, and I wanted to continue to improve and get better. And I talked to Mel Davidson at the time, and she was like, well, Montreal's close to Ottawa, but Montreal has like their strong connection of veteran players. Like, I'm not sure like how much playing time you get there. At the time, I think Willette was still playing, and some of these older players were still in the league. So I was like, okay, like maybe I'll go to Calgary. Their team had been changing a bit like after the Olympics. So I went to Calgary because Mel was basically like, I just think you'll probably have more opportunity there. So moved out there, and it was a big change. When I first got there, my dad came with me, and he helped me like get settled in my apartment. And I was just like crying. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I have no friends here. Like, I'm in this random city. I don't even know, like, there's no schedule really. Like, you practice twice a week. Like, I'm just going to hang out in my apartment all the time. But I think
Did
like
you get a job?
I did eventually. Yeah. I ended up working for Molson. I was like a sales rep. So
Cool.
the first like few months, I think I was just playing hockey, but obviously knowing like how much I was making, that wasn't going to be feasible. So Kelty Apperson, who was a former player and my teammate with the Inferno, she worked for Molson, and she was like, we're hiring, like you should just apply. So I did, and it was a lot of fun, but again, busy schedule.
You just slinging beers on the side, going to
Yeah,
practice.
we were just like driving to like Red Deer, Cochrane, random places, just like making all these coolers, bringing them new product, and driving around in my Coors Light like SUV and just living the dream. And then we'd go to practice. Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Yeah, that is awesome. Just going back to the start of the PWHL, you played that first year in Toronto. Can you just kind of speak to the excitement and what it was like coming in, like new league forming, and then getting the opportunity to play in Toronto?
It was so much fun. Like the first year, I think back, and I'm like, our team was so awesome. Like I look around that locker room and I think about like all the players that we had, and we had so much potential. Like we were such a strong team, and I've been pretty fortunate to play on some really great teams in this league and have like really really incredible bonds. But that team in Toronto was really special. Um, at the draft, I was like not really sure where I would go. I was playing the PWHL a couple games a year. I was in the national program, but I wasn't like on rosters. So it's like no one really knew where we were going to go or how it was going to work. And then when I got picked to Toronto, I was, really happy. I knew a lot of faces. I knew Troy and Gina pretty well. And then Jessie Confer is like one of my best friends. So she had just gotten picked up. So it was all kind of working out. And when you play in Toronto, you have so much like visibility and so much media coverage and a lot of support. So it was a great year. And obviously we had like a disappointing ending, but just such an incredible year coming from the PWHL or the CWHL, then the PWHPA, and finally into this professional league. I was like, this is it. Like, we've got it.
And then the opportunity, you get to go home. And it's just been awesome ever since last season. I guess it started a little bit slow, Becca, but what was the moment last year where things kind of turned for the Ottawa Charge and you guys just stormed all the way to the finals? And of course, heartbreaking ending, but like what a team. And it just seemed like you guys were so connected as a unit the whole time. Tessa and I always talk about how the whole team stayed out for Gwen when she got her MVP on the ice in Minnesota. I think it just spoke to how close you all were.
Mm-hmm. I think back to the opportunity to come play in Ottawa. That was obviously a dream come true. I remember when free agency hit, I was like, how does this work? Like, am I just going to get a call? And, they reached out to me pretty early in the process. And so that was kind of like a no-brainer for me. I weighed my options, but deep down I knew that Ottawa was going to be the home for me. And I think that if you look at our roster last year, we had such an incredible roster and just a great group of people that really connected. We came from a ton of different backgrounds. We had a bunch of players from Europe. We had players who were younger, just coming out of NCAA. Then we had some experienced players, and really disappointing end of the season. When you're so close, especially at like this point in my career, it's like, when will I be fighting for championships again? Like, you want to be doing it every year, but realistically, being that close and not achieving it was heartbreaking and hard to get over. But yeah, I just think about, like you mentioned, us on the ice waiting for Gwen. We were told that Gwen had won the award, so we were like, should we stay? Should we go off? But it only felt right to stay for her because she had been such an incredible player for us in the whole run. And I think it goes to show like the connection we have with each other. And yeah, it's tough being in those moments, but I think back to the team, and whenever we play against teammates who have left now, it's just special to see like their welcome back videos and their tributes, because they just have done so much for the city and our organization.
Yeah. Can you put your finger on it in that moment, what moment it was when things switched for all of you? Because there was a part of that season that wasn't going so hot. And then all of a sudden it was just like, Charger here.
I think it was during the World Championship break. We obviously had a lot of time just to train and focus on, the second half of our season, or like the end of our season. And we had a little fan actually gave Manon this necklace that she had gotten on vacation. And it was just like this like sewn necklace from like maybe like Jamaica or the Bahamas or something. And she gave it to her, and we just called it like the Good Vibes necklace. And so after every day, like there were hard days when you're training and just practicing and lifting every day while your teammates are like out having fun with their national teams, playing games, like it's hard. It's a grind. And so every day at the end of the day, we would do like this Good Vibes necklace. And it was kind of joking, like mostly serious, but we would have like Stephanie Markowski would like film the ceremony, and you would have you would get this necklace and you would give like honorable mentions. So like you'd honorable mention someone for doing X, Y, and Z, and like you live for this. Like we would just like go back to the locker room, and like the coaches had no idea we were doing this, but we would just like hand out this necklace to each other. And it just like really brought out like this positive energy into the team. And you almost like wanted to collect honorable mentions because it meant that you were like positive every day. But it was like kind of silly, but mostly serious. And we had a lot of fun with it. And I think that kind of brought our team together.
Yeah, no doubt. So was the Good Vibes necklace handed out to like the grumpiest person, or the person that was bringing the best good vibes?
Bringing the best good vibes. And at one point, I think I remember one point someone got it who shouldn't have gotten it that day, and it was more of a joke. And we were like, no, like that's not how this works.
Yeah,
and we were like, you were banned.
Ooh, Ottawa loves to throw the banned word out.
Everybody's banned in Ottawa.
Everyone gets banned,
especially us.
If you don't get banned, did you even go to Ottawa?
Yeah.
That's awesome. The good vibes necklace. Yeah, that could create a spark for sure. I love that.
Yeah.
You've mentioned your husband a couple times. You got married last summer. We saw all the
Mhm.
pictures and videos. It looked amazing. Did you have a favorite part of it all?
It's so hard to like pinpoint a favorite part, but just like so much preparation goes into it, so much like planning, and to finally
No,
get
it's
to that
actually
day,
hard.
it is really hard.
That's
But it's
Julia's
so
life.
worth it. Everyone's like, "Oh, like should you really have a wedding? It's so expensive." And I'm like, to have like the
Me
dance
last
the
week
dance
when I
floor,
tried to cancel it.
yeah, you can't cancel it. You can't cancel it. When you get to the dance floor and you're like, I see like this TikTok trend. It's like I didn't care what color the flowers were, what color the linens were at this point. When you're just like on the dance floor and you look around and you see all the people that like supported you your whole life and all your friends all together, like it's so fun.
Oh, that
Do you
is
have any words
special.
of advice for Julia outside of not caring about color of linens?
Don't cancel it erratically because you're
Yeah, don't
overwhelmed
cancel
before the
it.
Olympics. I
You've
had to
got
send out
this.
emails yesterday that said I'm ceasing all like I am the PWHL or the NHL. I said all wedding operations ceased until
Ceased.
post Olympics.
Yeah.
Talk to me at the end of February.
When are you getting married?
Late August, August 29th.
You have so much time. I feel like this is like the pause time for you. Like everything
Okay.
like is coming together, and then like the next you won't have to like work again until like 6 weeks before the wedding, I feel.
Oh, Rekha, you just made me feel so
Really?
much better.
Yeah, I feel like once I booked everything, like I didn't do anything for a long time, and I was like, what's happening? Like why is there
I just
nothing to
feel like
do?
I should.
And
I
then
think I'm on the internet too much. Like I feel like I should be doing something like 1,000 sit-ups every morning. I don't
Oh,
know.
God.
Something
Absolutely not.
wearing my red light mask at all times, going, I'm on the internet too much, I think. That is great. I'm glad you had an awesome time.
Did
It
you
seems like it
reach
was
out to
great.
Greg Fast for fun on your wedding, or did you go different, or no wedding planner? You were the wedding planner.
I mean that their events and their weddings, and they're insane. Like
Yeah.
those are insane. And so I wish that I could do that, but I had no wedding planner. I had a coordinator at the venue who basically acted as the wedding planner, and she was like, "You don't need to
Nice.
hire someone. Like I'll do this all for you, and I'll help you on the day of." And she was awesome. And I think like the hardest thing was like people always say like the seating charts. Like that was probably the hardest thing. But once you get through that, then it's pretty easy.
Yeah, that is kind of hard actually. I already
Mhm.
have and the like I'm really bad at answering questions. So anytime somebody texts me something, I'm like, okay, I can build up.
I can
I
answer
can answer
this.
this. As soon
I
as my
was like
save the
that
dates went
too.
out, I have so much family with little kids, and like the kids text came immediately, and I'm like, okay, it's time. I have to start answering administrative questions here.
Are you doing
Anyways,
kids at your wedding? No
it's a
kids.
really controversial topic in my family right now, and one that I had to cease wedding operations over. So let's not address it on the podcast.
Just say 19 plus. That's the easiest way out. Sorry.
Easiest
That's what I
way.
said. I said if he doesn't like beef tartare, he's not invited. He's under 3. He can't come. Anyways, that's all the wedding talk time we have for Jocks and Jills. It looked amazing, Becca. So I'm
It
glad
was,
that
yeah,
you made it out of the stressful times. I'm in the trenches right now. What's up
you'll
with
get through it.
are you like a little bit of a rugby enthusiast on the side as well? You
Yeah,
and
how's the
Basco
training
met
going?
up with Rugby Canada for some training. How did that go?
Like, no, I
Did
like to say
Vasco
I'm
make the
pretty
team?
athletic. Vasco could totally be on the team. Like, if she
Yeah.
had a tryout tomorrow, she would probably be running girls over. But I am like, I say I'm athletic, but then I like watch myself throw things. I'm like, oof, maybe you should just stick to hockey, stick to soccer. Like, I throw a football and everyone's like, that's so awkward. But I'm left handed. So I feel like maybe that's why. Yeah, rugby was fun. It was cool to see them and interact with them. But I don't think I'll be picking up rugby anytime soon. Didn't
Yeah.
really even play in high school or anything. It kind of scares me. Like they don't have any padding on. They're just walking around
No.
with these like cuts all over them, bruises. But
They're so
gotta give them a lot of
badass.
credit. Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they're cool.
I know. You want them on your team.
Totally.
Like,
Yeah.
be friends with them. Like, no one's messing with you.
A couple of my
Mm-mm.
university friends play like adult rugby in the beaches in Toronto. And
Like beer league rugby?
yeah, and
That's
she is
crazy.
always beat up. Like she got married this past summer and she had some like nasty bruises going, but she just loves it. Like I the idea of intramural rugby is one of the most insane things ever
Crazy
to
to
me.
be.
Just like to walk
Hockey's-
around with these bruises all over your arms. I was like laughing because Derek, Greg, and I went to this event a couple days ago after our last game for the break, and we I woke up that morning, I'm like, I have like bruises all over my arms from just like being boxed out or getting cross-checked. And like Dara texted me the exact same thing at like the exact same time I was looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, people are gonna think that we're just getting like people are like, if they didn't know we
Abused.
were hockey players, like they're like, why do these girls have bruises all over their arms? It was just to walk around with that, so funny.
War wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at least getting paid for your bruises. The girl who's playing intramural rugby is just paying to get bruised. You know what I mean? Like, there's a
Totally.
difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so true. Before we let you go, Rebecca, I just want to give you the opportunity to talk a little bit about an initiative. I know it's close to your heart. You were friends with Darren Richardson. Everybody around women's hockey knows about Do It for Darren, and just what a tragedy it was when she passed away. You're so closely connected to that. Like I mentioned, she was your friend. I've spoken to you at mental health awareness games, both for the Scepters and for the Ottawa Charge. I know it's a big part of your mission is keeping her story alive. So I just wanted to give you the chance to speak about maybe her legacy and how you've seen her affect minor hockey.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, obviously, Darren was a really good friend of mine and a teammate of mine, and I think the Richardson family were, our families were very close knit, and when you spend so much time together on the road, and we have siblings that are the same age, so just like that connection. I always looked up to Morgan, her older sister, in the recruiting process, and when she played for Team Canada under 18. So, the Richardsons are really special to me and my family, and when Darren passed away, they opened up about her tragic passing when they could have been quiet about it. They could have just, not spoken about the passing and how it happened. So I give them a lot of credit for kind of opening the doors of the conversation. And at the time, we were just in ninth grade, so didn't really know what. And even like back then, no one really spoke of mental health and suicide. And so at the time, my teammates and I didn't really have an idea of what that meant. Like Darren was the happiest teammate, the funnest, the coolest, like the pretty, like she was just like the total package. So for us, it was like, what do you mean? Like, how could this happen? And so obviously Do It for Darren, we just wanted to create something in her memory. So it started off like we had a tournament, I think a few days later, and the Richardsons, with their support, they were like, you guys got to play in this tournament. Like, that's how you guys will get through this, is like playing hockey and being together. And we actually found out of Darren's passing all together in a locker room in our like home rink. And then that tournament actually was in the same rink, and we were in the same locker room. So it was like very, very difficult. And we had the whole city of Ottawa basically at our games, and to have a crowd like that when you're in the ninth grade is pretty special. And we just wanted to like honor her. So it started with just wearing purple ribbons in our hair and purple tape on our stick. And then we wanted to start something like, we just wanted to do it for Darren. So we kept saying like, let's do it for Darren, let's do it for her. And then that kind of continued to grow, and teams across the city wanted to help us and help honor her legacy. So they started putting stickers on their helmets and then using their purple tape. And it just kind of grew organically. And the hockey community in Ottawa is so tight knit that it just spread. And then Morgan, obviously having her connection, with Cornell, and then playing with the Lady Sens at the time, like having it just grow across Ontario and now worldwide. What we've been able to accomplish with Do For Darren is just obviously honoring her legacy and helping have those hard conversations about mental health and suicide. And, like it's okay to obviously talk about your feelings and talk about mental health. And yeah, it's been really special for me to carry it throughout my career. I've tried to continue to stay involved in the conversation of mental health through college and in the PWHL, because we just want to, obviously continue on Darren's legacy and, have people remember her. And she was someone who, was the best teammate. She always looked out for others. And so I think that the message that I always try to send to younger players when I talk about Do It for Darren is, you have to check in on all your teammates. You have to check in on the loudest teammate, the quietest one, the one that's, always out with friends, the one that's always alone. Like every single person on your team needs to be talked to. And I think that they're conversations that I have with my family. And back then, my sisters were like in fifth grade, seventh grade. I was in ninth grade. Like they're very crucial ages. And, my parents realized like we need to have these conversations. We need to check in on each other. And this is like a really long-winded answer, but I think that like we've had those hard conversations, and knowing the impact that Darren has had, and it's connected to people personally to me, and they've had to have mental health support. And to realize that like Darren started something in the city of Ottawa at the Royal Ottawa, and how there's now a place for people to go to get the support that they need is really special. And credit a lot to the Richardsons for allowing this to happen and creating such an amazing foundation in her memory.
Big time. Well, you're definitely doing her a service and keeping her memory alive and allowing her to create that change in and around the hockey community and in Ottawa as well. So kudos to all of you for doing it for Darren and to continue to doing it for Darren. I met the Richardson family as well, and they are a lovely bunch. And we did stuff with Do It for Darren just through the connection of Brianne Jenner as well with Cornell and all of that. And so I love to see the purple stuff everywhere. Keep it going. I feel like it's an important thing to let kids know that there's no shame in talking about feelings or anything like that. And it's very important to confide in somebody if you are struggling a little bit about something. There is no shame in any of that at all. I've had those days. Julia's had those days. I'm sure you have as well. It's always nice to know you got a pal that you can lean on. But like you said, similarly to me having those days, it's important for me to check in on Julia from time to time too. And even our producer, Jackie, we all lean on each other. So make sure you're doing that for your pals. Rebecca, thank you so much for doing this with us. We had a ton of fun chatting with you, hearing about you stalking Poulain through your collegiate years.
That's awesome.
Your coach dad in the stands will have an eye for him if we ever are allowed back in the rink. And if we do, if we are, we will definitely be bringing a bus of your grandmother's besties with us.
Yes.
That'd be great.
We need that. Honestly, like we say a lot of random stuff in these interviews,
we're doing
but
this.
We need that. And as soon as you brought up the landman example.
Yeah, the landman was crazy. That's so funny.
That's what I want to do with my life. That's my next dream.
Need my legs to look like those women as well in that show.
Yeah, I got some work to do, but it's fine.
Yeah, pre-wedding work, we'll add that to the list. Add to the list. Thank you so much, Rebecca. Appreciate this. Enjoy the break and good luck the rest of the season.
Thanks for having me.
And again, that interview was brought to you by AERO, the official chocolate bar of the PWHL. On or off the ice, feel the bubbles melt. Rebecca's so awesome. She's great to hang out with. Like, she's so well loved around the league too. Like, everybody loves being her teammate. Yes, she is great. And everything she's done for Do It for Darren and like her whole community in Ottawa there is that's a special town. And everyone I know who's grown up in Ottawa like has been touched by that story. And it's really special what they've done to keep Darren Richardson's legacy alive and make sure her message keeps getting out there.
Totally.
We're not going to do the Send It segment this week. We feel like we're going to do more of a shout out segment. I don't know. We just saw so many people in Milan. If you have questions for our Send It segment, though, it will come back next Tuesday. If you want questions for Dr. Jill, send those in for our Friday episode of the pod. You can leave us a voicemail at 1-929-542-2442. We miss your voicemails. Please send them to us. Or send us an email, jocksinjills@thepwhl.com. Oh, Tessa, we saw so many people when we're in Milan. So let's do a little bit of a rundown. I honestly want to give a shout out to Kenzie and Cheryl to start, who did such an amazing job calling all the games and who came on our show. And they're always so kind to give us the time as guests, but also the fact that Cheryl Pounder and Cassie Campbell-Pascal worked the men's and the women's tournament. So great. Like Cheryl's going from the booth to the panel. Just to be
shoes between benches.
Yeah, seriously. Like right at ice level. Nobody had a better look at everything than Pounds did. Like it takes a lot goes into broadcasting and being prepared like that to be so fully plugged into both the men's and the women's side and not missing anything on either.
It's
like
crazy.
Kudos to both of them. That's a month of being completely locked into both, and it takes a lot of work.
Yeah, big time. Poundy is probably one of the hardest working people in the industry.
Yeah.
And on the American side, you got AJ Malesko.
Yeah.
I was holding it down on the NBC. We ran into Sarah Spain, which was super
We love Sarah
fun.
Spain, who had such nice pins, by the way.
She had a lot
her
of
pins
really
are
good
like one of my favorite pins. But the Good Game with Sarah Spain ones. Amazing daily women's sports podcast, guys. If you don't already listen to Good Game with Sarah Spain, please do. We've gone on it before.
Yeah.
Every single day keeps you up to date with what's going on in women's sports. Like it's an awesome daily update show to listen to that keeps you well versed with everything. Claire Hanna worked her ass off at this tournament too, men's and women's side. She went from ringside to hosting. Like we were so lucky to catch up with her one day.
Yeah.
She showed us the fun tradition of spinning on the ball testes.
The
We've already talked
testicles
about
of a
this on
bull.
our show. Sorry.
Truly, she is one of the hardest working and best reporters out there, hands down. And that's just not me being biased. That's just an honest opinion on her work. And I see her work ethic and just her delivery and her relatability. She was an athlete herself, volleyball. So I don't know. There's just a lot of professionalism there. And I think she's one of the best at her job and what she does.
But she's a psycho because she wears jeans on planes. So, Claire,
Correct.
I just have to make sure the people know that about you.
Yeah. Shout out to the
She
Wynn
works hard.
brothers
She's
because
awesome.
we love them.
We
and
love
they're
those
awesome.
guys.
One of them still has my phone charger. I gave him, it was the final game, and I saw that he only had like 38%. I think it was Ryan. And I'm like, you need this. I'm at 87. I'll come find you before the end of the game and I'll grab it off you, or I'll see you around or something. I did not.
You know what? Well worth it. The content he delivered, and they
That's
all
true.
delivered. Every video that they made brought tears to my eyes. The one they did with the Players Tribune,
What
the
you see and what I
voicemail for their
see?
sister, that one was so good too. Like,
Oh my
they
God.
brought a whole element to this tournament that, like, again, just brought so many eyes to women's hockey, but they were also so intentional about being and making sure the eyes were on the woman on the ice and on Team USA and on their sister Haley, who's also going back to the Boston fleet to haunt everyone's dreams. It's gonna be so wild, man, to see the fleet in action. But they're such great guys. They're Ryan's wife, their girlfriends too. Such awesome people. The whole Wynn family is just great.
Yeah, all the moms that came on the mom pod. Maldal, love ya. Mama Della, love ya. Mrs. Malte, Jen, you the boss. We she actually sat across the aisle from me on the flight home.
Oh, really?
From Frankfurt. Yeah, we were crushing wine together, watching F1 movie and whatever, staring at Brad Pitt basically.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just had a blast. The Jakes were near me too. I also have to shout out Melissa from USA Hockey for giving us a tour of their winter house, and Dean McIntosh and Darcy, because they gave us a really good tour of the Ice Palazzo, the speed skating, figure skating, hockey house in Italy. Awesome setups, both of them. So thank you for giving us a tour and taking the time with us to let us get in there, a little sneak peek.
Seriously, Tess and I are like the definition of running around, and we appreciate everyone who like helps us make good content and helps us get access to things. And again, like Heisey, Zumwinkle, KK, thank you guys so much. They came and hung out with us the day before they won an Olympic gold medal and did some fun videos with us. So that's so nice. Culty too is like always so willing to chat. And
I know.
Culty's got that game coming up against Montreal on the 26th, which she had some hilarious commentary about. We'll talk about that on Friday's episode of the pod, because lots of fun rivalries stoked during the Olympics that should definitely spill over into the PWHL. The last shout out we have to give is to our friend Simone from the hotel that we were at in Milan. Oh my gosh, we had such a fun party. Like, I guess that's one shout out too. Like, shout out to the whole PWHL staff that was in Milan that worked so hard on making sure that sponsors were being taken care of, and that there's like lots of resources available to players and PWHL staff in order to make this thing go on a day-to-day basis. Like, it takes a lot of work. The players are the one on the ice selling the product, obviously, but there's a lot of people behind the scenes that are working really hard to make sure the players have everything that they need to be professionals and be in this professional league. And everyone worked so hard in Milan, sales, marketing, like everybody was grinding really hard. So shout out to all of them.
Who else was for us was Vincenzo.
Oh, Vince. Have you spoken to Vince? He's got to be still asleep.
I hope he's home. If he's not home.
We got to check on him today.
Yeah. Vince, thanks for all your hard work, man. I know that guy likes to grind and he's really good at what he does, but he just had to put up with us two monkeys. So I hope he had a blast.
Monkeys. And thanks to all of you. Like, the listens were off the charts. Like, we're really excited for what we're going to be able to do in the second half of this season. Again, if you ever want to get in touch, leave us a voicemail, email us, jocksinjills@thepwhl.com. I love the voicemails though, guys. Like, I want send us your life issues for Jocks and Jills, our Dr. Jill segment on Friday, 929-542-2442. We're back in action now. Regular season firing up again on Thursday night. Montreal, New York. That should be a good one based on Czechia taking out both Canadian captains at this tournament. Calty's going to have her head on a swivel. We don't have any information about injuries or anything to that effect yet. If we do hear anything, I'm sure we'll have lots of updates for you on Friday. So make sure you tune into that episode. And thanks again. I hope everybody's resting, recuperating after the Olympics and ready to, just second half of the season to absolutely explode. Like so many eyes on women's hockey right now, as we've alluded to in this show. And now everybody's running for Walter. And it's going to be hard to knock the Boston Fleet out of that top spot, but we'll see what happens here. Thanks to you all for listening. Thanks to Shark Ninja for sponsoring the pod, CCM, Clever Mocktails, AERO, everybody who helps us do this thing. Follow us on social media, Jocks and Jills, wherever you get your content. Subscribe on audio platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. Throw us a like and a subscribe on the PWHL's YouTube page, and we will talk to you all on Friday.